All right, guys, we got a cool video planned for you today. Mr. Brad Faxon is here to show off his top 5 Scotty Camerons of his collection. All right, guys, we're at the beautiful Old Marsh Golf Club here in West Palm Beach, Florida. Mr. Brad Faxon here to show off his top 5 Scotty Camerons. Obviously a huge Scotty Cameron junkie, we could call it.
Probably.
I've been a huge junkie myself, and I'm super jealous of all your videos showing off your collection, and I thought it'd be a cool video to kind of go over your top 5 and the stories behind them.
All right, well, if I'm going through my top 5 favorite, I got to start with my gamer, right?
So this is the gamer.
So this is the putter that I've used since 1996 and 7. But when Scotty first got to work for Titleist and started his own putter company, I was using a Ping My Day, and the Ping My Day was a putter that was modeled after a Ping Zing, but it had this sort of the Answer hosel. So when I brought that putter to Scotty, he did his little drawings, and they have these big blocks of stainless steel and these milling machines. And this is a putter that really I've never hit a putt with, but it was his first rendition, would you say, of what his version of the My Day. We call it the Laguna, or mine is called the Fax Day. And it was pretty precise. It came down really close. I had told him I wanted a thinner top line. There's a little cavity back here. I wanted the face to feel thin so I could hear the noise. I wanted louder rather than softer. And I think he did an unbelievable job milling. Now this putter is so heavy I've never used it, but it was kind of, what do we do to get out of the gate? And then the process, he was so meticulous and I was so picky, I must have been a real pain. It took us about 1.5 years to get a putter that I actually put in the starting lineup. He's put a little G in here for gamer. You can see he's got my name, his name back here, my initials. And I always liked this little sort of, I call it a dash, right? It's just a small line. It's kind of like a
top line.
Yeah, a lot of people like a longer line here, and even the paint's a little off-colored. It's not quite bright white. It's a little, I don't know what he calls that. But I know he has a cooler name than what I would call it, but it's just, I never really fool around with it. I've had this thing in the bag since 1997, so that's about as old as you are.
Did the gamer ever get benched?
It didn't sit out much. Oh. It might have did a round or two, but not very frequent. Yeah.
Very cool.
It's made a lot of putts.
All right, guys, so these are the top 3 putters of his collection, and there's a really cool story behind it. Brad?
Well, Scotty, before he came to Titleist, had worked for Mizuno 1 year, and then he worked on his own for a year before Wally Uline, who was then the president and CEO of Titleist, called and said, hey, we'd like to put you to work for us. But what's really cool about these 2 putters, and they were both kind of copied after T.P. Mills was making a bunch of these blade style putters and what they call the gun metal, right? And Scotty Cameron was never known as Scotty Cameron. He was Scott Cameron. So see how both of these, and this is the Mizuno Scott Cameron, and this is the SCM Scott Cameron. So he changed his name to Scotty when he got to Titleist, but both of these putters were almost identical in what they look and feel like. They were toe hang blade putters. He had to see a little bit of dots here, and then when I had him make some putters for me, this was his first putter that David Toms used something similar to this, where he puts what he calls snow on it here. It had a little bit of a cavity back in it. I think this was one of the prettiest putters that I own. Has a little dot up here. I've never used this in competition. This thing's very clean. You can see how nice it looks right out of the factory here. Oh yeah. It belongs up on a wall, doesn't it?
I'm afraid to touch it.
I'm afraid to hit a putt with it. But these 3, when I show people my collection, and I don't have more than anybody else. I have some pretty cool ones, but these are the first 3 that come out of the rack.
And what's interesting is there is no Circle T on these. When did that start?
Well, I don't know if I could tell you exactly when Circle T started, but that's when they started using the adjustable weights, and I don't have a Circle T on my gamer, but that would have had to happen in the early 2000s.
All right, guys, so the final putter of his collection actually is a Circle T.
It is, and Scotty has made a name for himself with every putter that he's made, but the new Newport Special Selects are the best putters he's ever made, and he made this one for me. It's kind of a matte gray, which I think really has a cool look to it. It's got a milled face, so you can feel the face in there, and you can see it in the back as well, kind of balanced off. He used a little bit of a dot here. The black shaft kind of looks really cool to match that, and this top line's a little bit thinner, which I was really a big fan of, but some of the cool stuff in here with the triple S, the Circle T etched in, and you can take the weights out of here. These are pretty heavy, but I mean, it says masterful, tour use only. I mean, this gets a lot of people's blood flowing when they see these things.
What's interesting is the finish, and then as well as these kind of black line, these ripple lines here. I've never seen that on a Scotty Cameron before.
So I mean, all the putters I show are old, and I don't want to just show my age, but this one, of all the new putters Scotty's made, this is my absolute favorite.
Beautiful. I love the black shaft too, and as always, the grip. You tend to use the small grip on all of them.
I use a smaller grip. I like to see my fingers, you know, on all the shaft. And even one of the things Crenshaw would have told me, if you had a coin in your pocket, it's amazing when you go into your pocket and you pull out a coin, you always pick it up with your fingers, right? Your fingertips, so there's feel in there. So I want your fingertips to be on the grip. And I always felt like the best looking players, best looking grips, they could hold the coin here on both their left and their right hand for a conventional grip, and see how that just matches. That looks pretty nice. Their thumb's right down the shaft, little trigger finger here, and like I said, there's a lot of feel right there. Keep those on the shaft because you'll make more putts doing that.
Beautiful. Awesome. Well, guys, awesome collection. I'm super jealous. Maybe one day I'll be able to get one of these Circle Ts, but hope you guys enjoyed that. Be sure to check Brad out on YouTube or Instagram. Be sure to check out hitbombs.com. And we do have new black long sleeve dry fit shirts in the store, so go ahead and get one of those for the holidays. And other than that, I want to thank Brad Faxon and Old Marsh for having us out today.
I want to hit some bombs.
Yeah, let's do it.
Short bombs.